सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावति तमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Hari Om everyone. Welcome back to Viva Vedanta Foundation's online session in the Wellness series, a talk on digital Eyestrain epidemic in the COVID-19 pandemic. Next month, we are completing 12 months of our Wellness Talk series. And let me tell you, that has been hugely possible because of your enthusiastic participation. Today morning, Sunday morning, it's so nice to see all of you all back with us and many more new participants. Thank you once again for being with us on this journey. Before we move ahead, we thought of sharing something special with all of you. Guruji's teachings has always emphasized on the need to love and embrace all beings. While you are already familiar with our initiative, Vanamali, where we strive to connect with Mother Earth, today we present to you Maai Asra. Under the guidance of Guru Vasudaji, Maai Asra was inaugurated in July 2021 at our Sai Nivas Ashram, Coimbatore. At Asra, we opened our doors to abandoned animals, cows, dogs, cats, and today, as the name suggests, at Asra, we provide a safe haven and home for these abandoned animals. Food, water, clean living area, medical attention, and lots of love and care is showered on our new family members. You will agree, we all feel blessed, don't we, when we are shown Karuna. And we strive to show the same compassion to all, including the inmates of Maai Asra. Here sharing with you a small glimpse of Maai Asra.
ஜீத்துன்னு ஒரு அண்ணா இருக்கிறாரு, அப்புறம் அவங்க அக்கா இருக்கிறாங்க. எல்லாமே காலை நேரத்துலேயுமே 5 மணிக்கு சாணம் வலிக்கிறது எல்லாமே பண்ணிடுவாங்க. அவங்க வச்சிருக்கிற ஏரியா எல்லாமே வெரி க்ளீனாக இருக்கும். பார்க்குறதுக்கு நல்லா க்ளீனாக வீடு எப்படி வச்சுருக்காங்களோ அவங்க மாட்டு கொட்டவும் அதே மாதிரி க்ளீனாக இருக்கும். ப்ராப்பராக அந்த டைமுக்கு ஃபுட்டு வாட்டர் எல்லாம் கொடுத்துருவாங்க. அந்த கண்ணுக்குட்டிக்கு மாட்டுக்கு எல்லாத்துக்கும் கொடுத்துருவாங்க.
वृंदा है माँ, वो उसका माँ गुजर गया तो इधर लाके दिए है, वो उनको संभालते हैं। अच्छा भी है। इसका नाम कन्हैया है, वो भी दिए है, वो अच्छा भी है। बहुत पतला था, अभी थोड़ा अच्छा दिखता है, अच्छा है, खाना अच्छे से खाते हैं। इसका नाम दुर्गा है और अच्छा है, ये बहुत सबसे अच्छा है। ये पेट थोड़ा कभी कभी ख़राब हो जाता है, मतलब फूक जाता है, 2 दिन लगता है उसको ये होने में कि हजम नहीं होता है, या मेडिसिन थोड़ा खिलाते हैं तो हो जाता है। इंजेक्शन भी दिए, डॉक्टर के देखे हुए।
ये है ना, जैसे आया ना बहुत पतला था, अब देखो थोड़ा सही है, अच्छा हो गया है 1 महीने से। टाइम से खाना भी नहीं मिला, 5-6 महीने।
So there you met our calves, our caretakers, and we must tell you that we've added 2 more calves to our ashram. And a happier news is we have a newborn calf in our midst now. Oh, here she is, the newborn, Lola. She was just born about 3 days back. We pray to the Almighty to give us strength and support to carry on with the service efficiently. Now we move on to today's talk. We are all aware the role that our physical body and our sense organs play in helping us walk through this world. But usually its importance on the spiritual part is not given its due attention. We are all aware of the importance of our eyes. As said in the Guru Stotram, Ajnana Timirandasya Jnanan Janashalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. It translates as, the Guru removes the darkness of our ignorance by applying the medicine of spiritual knowledge. We'll shortly be hearing from our speaker the ways and means to keep our precious eyes healthy. In the meanwhile, I wish to share the importance of our eyes while we're on the spiritual path. Healthy eyes are a tool which will help us to form the right impressions in the conscious mind and therefore in the subconscious mind. Therefore, as Guru Vasudha ji has made us understand through her satsangs, one should constantly strive to see the goodness in all beings. It is in this light that the Supreme has made the worlds. As said in the Sai Satcharitra, when all our organs get their proper nutrition and are sound, we can practice devotion and sadhana to attain God. Today, as we go ahead and meet our speakers, a quick note on the proceedings, please. After a round of introductions, we proceed directly into the talk, and thereafter, we open the forum for questions and answers. As always, we request everyone, please hold on to your questions till the end of the session and then put them in the chat box. After all, we don't want our attention to be taken away from an active and live chat box, do we? Let's meet our guest speaker, Dr. Ankita Patil, for the day. She's an ophthalmologist with over 10 years of extensive experience. Her super specialty is pediatric eye disorders and adult strabismus. Dr. Ankita has done her MBBS and MS from Nair Hospital in Mumbai, Fellow of International Council of Ophthalmology, UK, FRMF in Pediatric Ophthalmology and Adult Strabismus. Dr. Ankita has done a fellowship at the very well-known Shankara Nethralaya, Chennai. She has previously worked at the KEM Hospital, Parel, MGM Panvel, and Shankara Nethralaya, Bangalore. She now works for R. Junjunwala Shankara High Hospital at Panvel. So today, we have Dr. Ankita Patil throwing light on this problem of computer visual syndrome and the remedies thereof. Welcome, Doctor. Over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank the Viva Vedanta Foundation for inviting me for this talk. So shall we start?
Yes, Dr. Ankita.
Are the slides visible?
Yes, Dr. Ankita.
So I'll be speaking about digital eye strain. The objectives of the talk today would be for us to understand what is digital eye strain, why does it occur, how can we prevent it, and how is it treated. So what exactly is this digital eye strain or computer vision syndrome that we have been listening about since so many days? It is nothing but a group of eye and vision related problems that results from prolonged use of computers, tablets, e-readers and smartphones, because these devices tend to cause a stress on our near vision. Now, we have been using these devices in so many years. Now, why has it become such a serious issue in recent days with the pandemic setting in? Let us see some figures which were published in some prominent Indian journals. So the prevalence of digital eye strain was found to be about 50% in a study which studied around 263 children. Around 36% of them were using digital devices for more than 5 hours per day. An average adult was found to use digital devices for more than 8 hours per day, and 95.8% of adults had experienced at least one symptom of digital eye strain. So why are we suffering from digital eye strain when we use devices for prolonged time? There are three basic mechanisms which come in play. First is there is a strain on our focusing mechanism. There is an element of dryness of the eyes, and there are some extraocular causes which further exacerbate the strain. We'll understand each one of them individually. First, let us see how the focusing mechanism of our eye works.
Lens accommodation. Lens accommodation is when the optical power of the eye's curvature changes in order to focus on objects at a range of distances. The lens is flexible and has a curvature controlled by ciliary muscles through zonules. First, we must identify some of the key anatomical structures of the eye: retina, ciliary muscles, zonules, iris, cornea, pupil lens, and choroid. Changing in curvature. When ciliary muscles contract, the zonules loosen, creating a rounder shaped lens and a higher refractive power, which enables us to see at shorter focal distances. When ciliary muscles relax, the zonules increase in tension, creating a flattening of the lens, thus an increase in further focal distances. This entire process is called lens accommodation. So why do we need glasses as we approach our 40s and 50s? This is called presbyopia. Ciliary muscles to change the lens shape.
Next slide. So this is what happens when you go from looking at a faraway thing to looking at a nearby object. There are a set of muscles called ciliary muscles in our eye, which makes the lens rounder in shape that allows us to look at nearby objects. So when you are working for long hours on a device that is close to your eye, the ciliary muscles get fatigued. What other things put strain on the focusing mechanism is certain display related issues to these digital devices. These include this resolution of the screen of the digital device. There may be glare and reflection when you're working on the devices. And last but not the least, the critical flicker frequency. What is critical flicker frequency? When you're seeing movies or display on a device, it is actually a series of images which are passed at a frequency that is higher than the brain's ability to identify it as a separate image. Now, for some reason, if your device is not functioning well and it is lesser than this critical flicker frequency, then again your eye will have to strain to see the image clearly. The next important issue related to display is the blue light that these devices emit that we all have been hearing about. Now, what is this blue light that these devices emit? We all know that the sunlight is made up of 7 colors. Now, this blue light is nothing but the blue component of the sunlight that we are normally exposed to. Then why is it so harmful when it comes from these digital devices? The reason being, we are not constantly exposed to this blue light from sunlight. But when you're working on digital devices for a long time, we are constantly exposed to the blue light. Now, there is some anecdotal evidence that this blue light can damage our retinal cells, can accelerate cataracts, affects our sleep pattern, and contributes to digital eye strain. The next thing that we need to understand is the component of dryness. So let us first see how our eyes are normally maintained moist.
When you blink, a tear film spreads over the eye, making the surface smooth and clear. The tear film is made up of 3 distinct layers: an oily layer, a watery layer, and a mucus layer. Each layer is needed for the tear film to keep our eyes moist. When you
So what happens when you're working for long hours on devices is that your eyes become dry. Your eyes become dry because you tend to blink less when you're working on these devices. The normal blink rate for an adult is between 10 to 15 blinks per minute. When you blink less, whatever tear film is present on the surface of the eye, that gets disrupted and a fresh tear film layer is not spread. Also, the overall surface of the eyeball that is exposed when you are working on a digital device as compared to when you are reading on print media is much more, which further exacerbates this drying. Now, what are the extraocular causes which contribute to the fatigue experience during digital eye strain? Those are posture related problems which give rise to neck stiffness, neck pain, shoulder pain, and back pain. So having understood how digital eye strain occurs, we need to know what are the symptoms of digital eye strain. So how do you know you are suffering from digital eye strain? Digital eye strain may present as headache, watering from eyes, redness of eyes, double vision, that is you see things double either at near or at far, or when you go from looking to near to far, your eyes feel dry and you have blurring of vision. Now, having understood the problem, the symptoms, and why the problem happens, we come to it, how do we protect ourselves from this issue? They see a picture say 1,000 words. This photo aptly proves how technology obsessed our generation has become. We need to bring about certain behavioral changes to protect ourselves from this digital side effects of these digital devices. So what can be done? Firstly, there are certain recommendations by the World Health Organization for screen time exposure for children. Kids below 1 year of age should have 0 screen time. 1 year old also should have 0 screen time. 2-year-olds can have 60 minutes of supervised screen time, and children between 3 to 4 years can again have 60 minutes of supervised screen time. The rest of the day should be spent in activities as described here. What about older children? There are no specific amount guidelines for older children, but the overall time distribution for older children should be such that at least 1 hour is spent in physical activity, that is playtime. They should have 8 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep at night, and they should give adequate time for their schoolwork, meals, hobbies, and family time. If after this they have spare time left, then they can utilize it as screen time. For any reason, if their screen time is encroaching on these activities, then it is considered as excessive screen time. Now, adults who are forced to work on digital devices because of the work from home situation that we are in right now, or for children who are attending online classes, they need to follow this 20-20-20 rule. What is the 20-20-20 rule? Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet far. The idea is that your focusing muscles have to relax. You get an opportunity to blink, and your eyes are prevented from being strained or becoming dry. Other important role is played by glasses and filters. Even a small refractive error needs correction when you are working for long hours on screen. You can use anti-reflective or anti-glare coating on screens and glasses. Many of our devices today have special modes like Twilight or Eye Comfort Shield, which need to be activated. There's a lot of talk in market about blue blocking yellow glasses. These are basically meant for blocking the blue light that we discussed earlier. According to the American Association of Ophthalmology, these glasses don't have a proven role in preventing digital eye strain. As far as online classes go, it is better that children avoid handheld devices like mobile phones and tablets for work. It is better to use computers and laptops from which a distance of at least 1 to 1.5 feet can be maintained. The next important thing is making your workspace comfortable. Now, how do you go about making your workspace comfortable? The place where you are working should ideally be a table and chair setup where your neck and back are in a straight line, your arms are comfortably rested, your feet are comfortably rested on the floor, and the screen is slightly lower to your eye level, around 15 to 20 degrees below your eye level. You should avoid any direct air drafts coming from air conditioners or ventilation fans on your eye. The room should be adequately illuminated, and you position the device such that there is minimal reflection and glare arising from the device. So in spite of all this, if a person suffers from digital eye strain, then how is it treated? Generally, when patients presenting with symptoms of digital eye strain come to us, we advise glasses, eye drops, and vision therapy. Now, these glasses are meant to correct any small refractive error or any undercorrected or uncorrected refractive error. What are the eye drops? The eye drops are lubricant eye drops. They resemble our natural tears and help to maintain our eye surface moist. And the last thing is vision therapy. This vision therapy is a relatively newer concept. What is vision therapy exactly? Vision therapy is a set of eye exercises which we do to increase the strength of our focusing mechanism. These exercises use lenses, prisms, and filters. They are a series of exercises which can be done over weeks to months, either at the hospital or at home, and they improve our eye focusing, coordination, and tracking. So the take-home message from the talk is avoid handheld devices for mandatory screen time like work from home and online classes. Adopt to the 20-20-20 rule. Arrange a comfortable workspace for adults and children. Allocate at least 1 hour of physical activity for kids every day, and access your doctor if you show symptoms of digital eye strain. Having explained about digital eye strain, I would like to share a small video that explains other side effects of excessive screen time in children with developing brains.
Hey, JJ, come play with us. Dude, what is going on with you? You seem to be in a really bad mood.
I'm just mad my mom won't let me play video games.
Well, you seem to get irritated pretty easily these days. Maybe it's not just video games. I think you have too much screen time.
What is screen time?
When you look at a screen, you can think of it as a window from the physical world to the digital world. So what kind of screens do you use to see the digital world?
Wow, let me think. We have a laptop and a tablet. I also look at the TV screen too. Does that count?
Any screen counts, not just a computer screen, but also TV screens, mobile phones, game consoles.
The screen is so small, so I didn't think it counts.
Some screens are even smaller. Some people even have a computer screen on their watch, but it still lets you connect to the digital world, no matter how big or small.
I never thought of them all as screens. My mom is always saying it is not good to spend too much time in front of the screen. I thought that just meant video games. But if every screen is a screen, I shouldn't be doing homework on the computer.
Yes, but when we say screen time, we really mean playing on the computer. Games, chatting, watching videos for fun, for example. Computer time for schoolwork is not included.
Anyway, I'm upset because I don't get enough screen time, not because I have too much.
You're kidding, right? Video games and social media are like junk food for your brain. It's fun to eat, but if you take too much, it can be bad for you.
What? Time online never did me any harm. Look how strong I am.
Well, for starters, it can make you unhappy. You get addicted and feel angry whenever you can't play. Sound familiar?
Me? Angry? Whatever.
It also makes it harder for you to focus on other things like schoolwork. Your attention span can become short, and that makes school harder. On top of that, you can have physical problems. It can be harder to sleep, and you have less energy because you don't move around and get enough exercise.
But I'm not even the best player, so I should
You may feel really proud when you win a game, but that feeling wears off quickly, and you will want to play again to get it back. Likewise, it can feel nice when people like pictures you post, but it is soon forgotten, and the feeling doesn't last. So, if your grades are getting bad and you're tired and sleepy all the time, then you might have a problem. You need to step back from the screen and get more balance in your life.
Are you saying I need to get a life?
Yep. I'm not saying don't have fun online or don't try to get better at games. Just don't do it at the expense of your grades and health. Your life can have some junk food, just not too much. You have to control your screen time. Hey, JJ, huh?
Thank you all for listening to me patiently on a Sunday morning. I would like to answer any queries that are there.
Thank you, Dr. Ankita, for such an informative talk. Definitely, I hope many more, like as a parent, I could feel I got many small tips from your talk, which are very important and are really eye-openers, especially the WHO statistics, which WHO guidelines for children, how much time they should be. So all these things are very important, which you have highlighted in your short talk. Okay. So now I'll request all the participants to post their question on chat box so that we will start with our question answer session. The first question is from Punita Gandhi. Can you share some exercises for eyes?
Okay. So the most important exercise that you can do is the 20-20-20 rule, that you give intermittent breaks to your eyes when you're working on screen time. The idea is your focusing muscles relax. Another, you can do certain pencil push-ups at home. Basically, you hold a pencil far, look at it, then bring it closer and try to maintain the image closer. These improve the strength of your near working muscles. But again, you can try this for at the most 1 week and see if your symptoms are better. If they are not better, then it is better to come and show a doctor. The most important exercise is taking intermittent breaks. Generally, what I tell kids who come to the hospital is they have a short break of 5 minutes between 2 classes. So take a walk around the house, go to the window, look at something far. Again, the idea is that your focusing muscles should have time for relaxing.
Do you recommend some yoga practices, basically as you have mentioned about ciliary muscles? So routine yoga practices, which basically enhances this exercises for the eye muscles. So I think even those are very important if you do routinely.
Yeah.
And everybody, yes.
Very true. Yoga in general helps us to remain healthy and well-being. And I myself am a regular yoga practitioner. Okay. So definitely it helps in overall health, improving your immunity and your focus as well.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Thank you, doctor. Next, do we need to put some drops regularly?
No. Drops are not recommended as a prophylaxis. As we saw in the video, naturally our body is tuned to keep our eyes moist. Every time we blink, the tear film spreads evenly on the surface of the eye, and there is a layer of oil which is coated on it by oil glands which are present in the eyelids to protect it from evaporating. So if a person adequately blinks, ideally, unless and until there is some other contributing factor to cause dryness, your eyes should not become dry. In spite of that, if you are experiencing symptoms, any sort of medication should be started under medical supervision. Better to not start it on your own unless and until your doctor has seen why you are suffering from dry eyes.
So the basic cause of the dry eye should be corrected rather than just starting drops.
Right. Okay. So better not start them on your own.
Yes, that is true. Yes. Next question is from Sindhuja. Is pure rose water good for eyes?
So these are grandma's recipes for healthy eyes. And yes, there is no harm in putting rose water soap pads on your eyes. We have all done it. But again, no, I cannot quote any scientific evidence for that. Yeah, no harm.
Exactly.
Definitely not harmful.
Yeah. Next question is from Mr. Satish Pillai. Is it true that during 2020, it helps looking at the color green, trees, etc.?
No specific color as such. As we saw that our ciliary muscles are constantly working when we look at near things, so they become fatigued. So any far off object is good enough.
Okay. 1 second. Next question is from Punita Gandhi. Is night mode on phones helpful?
Yeah, night mode on phone is definitely helpful if you're working during night time. The idea is there shouldn't be too much of contrast between your screen and your surroundings. That is what increases this rate. So yeah, definitely. Devices have eye comfort shield, twilight modes, night modes. All of them should be switched on if you are forced to work during night times. Preferably avoid working on screens at night time. Preferably avoid using devices just before you go to sleep, unless and until for some it may be mandatory. No, work hours are such that you can't avoid that.
Next question is from Ayush Tari. He studies in 8th standard. Very good, Ayush. We are very happy to see some student attending this session. For my online classes, I use blue light filter on my phone. Also, my spectacles have eye comfort shade. How much helpful is it?
Yeah, so there is some anecdotal evidence which says that blue light is harmful, and there's a lot of discussion online which goes on these blue blocking yellow glasses. If what generally I practice is, if somebody already has glasses or needs a refractive correction, I tell them go ahead and get blue blocking yellow filter in your glasses. But I generally don't recommend using blue blocking glasses on their own as a prevention for digital eye strain. The 2020 rule is better and inexpensive.
Yes, that is true. Do you recommend some brands for these blue light filters or no?
Absolutely
Okay.
individual choice. No, nothing.
Okay. Yes, yeah. Next question is from Mr. Pallavi Iyer. Does switching blue shade off mode on any digital device help? Is there?
Please elaborate it once more.
Yes, even I'm not aware whether there is such a mode is available on our phones. We'll go to next question. Meanwhile, what are symptoms of cataract? Okay. Is it related to DS or whether there is increased frequency?
No. So digital eye strain in any way will not predispose you to developing cataracts at an earlier age or anything like that. I think it was because of the slide on blue light in which I mentioned cataract. So as I was saying, there is some anecdotal evidence. So this is not again proven scientifically. There are retrospective studies and just observational studies which have come up that they have observed that people who were exposed to excessive blue light sources had earlier onset of cataracts. And maybe some side effect on our retinal ganglion cells, but there have been no prospective longitudinal studies to establish a causal relationship.
So I think, do you recommend regular eye checkup, which is necessary to find out is there any problem, or though there are no symptoms, do you recommend that?
In general, especially in kids, I always recommend once a year regular eye checkup, although they are asymptomatic. Because many a times I have had children who've come to me saying everything is all right and we found refractive errors in them. I actually had a kid who could barely read at 6 meter distance, and the mother said, but his schoolwork is complete. Yes. So then I asked the kid, how are you managing? And he's like, no problem, doctor, I copy from my neighbor. So yeah, yearly eye examinations are recommended, not only in children, even in adults. Young adults, adolescents who have excessive screen time. As you become older, you start developing systemic issues, hypertension, diabetes, which are known to cause silent vision problems. which become bigger by the time you come to the doctor. So yes, yearly eye checkups are recommended for one and all.
Okay, thank you. The next question is from Nitya Jairaman. The younger generation are so addicted to digital media, especially at night. So how do we help them to overcome this? This is question from everybody. I think all parents would like to know about this.
All right. So what I generally suggest to my parents is you encourage outdoor hobbies. The more you divert them to outdoor hobbies, the less they will be addicted to screens. Restrict screen use in front of kids. Many a times it is the parents and the grandparents themselves from whom the kids learn to use these devices. So have a rule of no screen time when everybody is at home. Spend some family time together and encourage the kids to go out.
Yes, definitely. I think these are the remedies to get out of that screen time. Okay, there's a lot of appreciation for your talk on the chat box. Next question is from Pallavi Iyer. On a daily basis, which is a better option to use, spectacles or contact lenses?
So there is no harm in using contact lenses if they are medically prescribed. If a doctor has seen you and said it is okay to wear contact lenses for you. Now, if you are a digital device user, for some reason you have long screen hours, then you are at a higher risk of digital eye strain. Why? Because with every blink, the contact lens moves on your eye. There is limited movements such that a well-fitting contact lens doesn't have so much movement that your vision is affected. But if you have long screen hours, again, you're predisposed to dryness. Now, this dry eye creates friction between the surface of the eye and the contact lens, which will give rise to symptoms of irritation, pain, eye strain, redness. So they may not be such a great idea if you have long screen hours. Other than that, there is no per se contraindication. There are pros and cons of wearing spectacles and contact lenses. So it has to be individualized. But yes, definitely the incidence of digital eye strain is higher in contact lens users.
Okay, compared to specs.
Compared to specs.
Okay. Next question. I'm Prerna Goving, just wondering as to why the doctor says that my cataract is still developing for the past 10 to 12 years. Is there anything to arms about? I'm a diabetic. Please explain.
Right.
Again, I think it is.
I will take that question, not an issue. As the rate of graying of everybody's hair is not the same, it is same with the cataract. Some people develop gray hair faster, some people develop it slowly. It is as simple as that. So if a doctor has told you that you have cataract in your eyes and you are diabetic also, please ensure that your sugars are controlled and go for a regular eye checkup to see the progression of cataract. When the doctor feels that it has reached a level where your vision is affected and your day-to-day activities are affected, they would advise an intervention. Nothing to worry about.
Okay, great. Yeah. Using of a device in a sleeping posture, does it activate the side effects? Very important again.
Yeah. So as I told you, workspace management while using digital devices is very important. Otherwise, it leads to those extraocular reasons for exacerbating digital eye strain, such as neck pain, backache. Again, your orientation to the screen is not same. As I told you, it should be around 15 to 20 degrees lower to your eyes to minimize symptoms of digital eye strain. So definitely sleeping and or using digital devices at sleep time is not recommended. Using digital devices at sleep time affects your circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is your sleep-wake cycle. So yeah, should be avoided.
Okay. Is using a Kindle safe?
Again, handheld devices better to be avoided. If necessary for some reason, restrict them to the recommended screen hours. I generally tell children who come to me is 45 minutes is the allowed screen time for you, out of which half an hour can be a television or computer from which you maintain distance. No more than 15 minutes of handheld devices. Handheld devices are not recommended not only with respect to digital eye strain, but also with respect to the problem of myopia or nearsightedness, which we are seeing in kids these days. So there is no harm in using technology. It has to be used in limits and use devices and media which are safer.
Yes, very true. And though we are at present in digital era, can we go back to whatever we used to do? I mean, it's better to go to books again and avoid using digital devices. That is something which I'll feel it's very.
It will not be that easy.
I know.
We live in a corporate world.
Yes. Next question is about, is using zero power lenses with anti-glare lenses safe to use for eyes, even if not prescribed by an eye doctor?
Yeah, they don't have any known side effects. It's just that you are investing in them. If you can arrange your workspace in such a way that you minimize glare and reflections, or you have a mode in your device which can be set on, then you can do away with them.
Okay.
No side effects.
Next question is from Sushma Vishwanathan. Is using eye drop of eye tone safe?
Is using eye drop for?
Eye tone, that's what. Is it for glaucoma or? That's what. Sushma, can you elaborate it in detail? Like what exactly you want to ask? We'll go to, I think this is already, we have taken these questions.
There's the eye drop. Maybe she's asking about some particular eye drop.
Eye drop.
Eye drops started on your own are not recommended. Please start medications only when they are prescribed. I have seen a lot of side effects of self-medication, even in kids. So not a great idea to start medications on your own.
Better to avoid. Yes. Does vitamin D deficiency affect eyes?
So yes, there is some role of vitamin D deficiency in progression of myopia or minus power glasses, which has been studied extensively. Now, we don't understand if it is directly vitamin D deficiency or reduced sunlight exposure which contributes to it. So we do recommend vitamin D level checkups in kids who have progressive myopia, whose minus number is progressing at a rate which is more than which is normally expected for a child of that age and that number.
So it's yeah. But definitely diet has an issue. It's related to eye problems here.
The studies are saying that maybe it's a surrogate marker. Basically, myopia, what is happening is we are moving to a more indoor world rather than outdoor activities. So your eyes are adapting to seeing for near. This is why we are seeing this epidemic of nearsightedness or myopia, or where people are adapted to seeing for things at near. So we are finding that levels of vitamin D are lesser in these kids, probably because they are not going outdoor that much. They are not exposed to sunlight. And as we all know, sunlight is important for vitamin D synthesis in our body.
Yes. Yeah. I would like to ask, what is your experience? Have you seen tremendous increase in number of these DS cases during this pandemic?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Every day I see at least 2-3 patients every day.
Every day. And yes, and is it some side effects of corona? Side effects means, or the long-term effect of corona on eyes which you have seen?
Not directly related to the virus. We've not found any incidents of dry eye directly related to the virus. No.
Okay. Because it has affected many systems. Usually, long-term side effects. Those
it has multiple ophthalmic manifestations, right from affecting the nerve to the retina to your muscles, everything. We all know about black fungus, mucormycosis.
Yes, mucormycosis.
So yeah,
I think okay. The next question is what vegetables and fruits are recommended for kids and adults to improve one's eyes? I think we have already.
All green and yellow vegetables, orange colored vegetables are good for your eyes because they contain vitamin A and retinoids, which are the building blocks of your retinal cells. So oranges, papayas, palak, methi.
Yes, definitely. These things are very important. I think we have done with most of the questions. This thing. I would request Dr. Ankita to share your few slides, especially the statistics of what you have done and WHO recommendation for children. How much is their screen time in the group? That would be really helpful for all the parents and even those who are in the group.
I'll share it in the group.
And thank you so much. It was a really interactive session, an eye-opener for all of us, and not only children, but the adults who are also, including myself, who are now very much addicted to these devices because of work or because of many other reasons. So once again, thank you so much. And we'll proceed to vote of thanks. Over to Punita.
It was a pleasure being here.
Hari Om, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Sangeeta. Thank you, Dr. Ankita. It has been such a wonderful session, crisp, clear, and what can I say? The chat box itself is live with thank yous, and it was wonderful. It was informative. What more can I add? And I particularly am taking back the 20-20-20 rule back with me. And it's not just in knowing what to be done. I think it's also in a better understanding of what not to be done. I think that has been wonderful through the session. So thank you so much. It was wonderful, and it was lovely to have you with us this Sunday morning. We would also like to extend our deep gratitude to our Jhunjhunwala Shankara Eye Hospital for all their support and collaborative work with the foundation. We would like to share here with all of you that our Maai Swasti Seva team, our medical wing, in collaboration with the Jhunjhunwala Shankara Eye Hospital, will be conducting cataract eye surgeries for the needy, as have been identified by our volunteers. And these surgeries are going to be performed on the 24th and 25th of this month. So we are very grateful for this association, and we hope that we continue this for future endeavors as well. Thank you, Dr. Ankita, and thank you to our Jhunjhunwala Shankara Eye Hospital. We extend our deepest gratitude to our Guruji. Thank you for being our guiding light and for always showering us with your blessings and love. Thank you to all our enthusiastic participants. Thank you for always coming, being here with us. You're part of our family. And we look forward to coming back to you with many more informative talks in our wellness series in the months to come. Thank you so much. We'll be sharing our contact details in the WhatsApp group. Please feel free to get in touch with any one of us at the foundation. And last but not the least, thank you to all the volunteers in our VVF team. Guided by our Guruji, we all walk together hand in hand with mutual love and respect. We'll conclude this session with the prayer. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.